Welcome to our cab check engine start training. Now, this cab check engine start to some might be called an air brake test, but in New Jersey you must remember the words cab check engine start. To get started with this training, you're going to need this piece of paper right here. If you don't have one, please request one from an instructor. Now, the cab check engine start is split into three different sections. This training video will only go over the first section, which in some cases is the most important. The first section of the cab check engine start is going to be number 1 through 19. This next video that's going to show is going to be an example of what you are going to have to do when it comes for test day for the first section of the cab check engine start. Make sure you pay attention and enjoy. So first we're going to start off with a safe start. So you're going to want to make sure that your transmission is in neutral, and then you're going to want to make sure that both brakes are pushed out. Okay? From there you're going to put the clutch all the way to the floor, and then you're going to turn the engine on. Turn the key on first, let the computer start talking, and then you turn the engine on all the way. Slightly off the clutch, just in case. And the first step of this air brake test or cab check engine start is we're going to have to make sure that the air compressor is working by building the air pressure anywhere from 120 to 140 psi. At this point we're looking to fill up the air tanks. Now I can make it go faster by pressing on the gas. So I'm going to give it a little bit of acceleration. I'm going to make sure that my RPMs do not exceed 1500 RPMs. Anything over 1500 is just a waste of fuel and a waste of efficiency. So I'm going to rev it up to 1500, and then I'm going to hear the sneeze coming out, indicating that the air tanks are full. And that was a sneeze right there, saying that the air tanks are full. So now my pressure is good, my air tanks are full. The next step is I'm going to put this transmission into first gear. So I'm going to put the clutch all the way down. I'm going to put it in first gear. In this truck, it's all the way towards the left, and backwards is first gear. Okay? From here, I'm going to shut the truck off. I'm going to come off the clutch slowly. Then I'm going to turn the key back on. Now this is a very, very important part, that you turn the key on so your dashboard works properly and all the electronics are working. Most people forget to turn this key on, and then for the test that is an automatic fail. This key has failed more people than you know, so don't fall into that trap. So after I'm in first gear and the key is on, I'm going to release the parking brakes. So I'm going to push in the yellow brake first, and I'm also going to push in the red. So what's going to happen is now I'm taking the air out of the air tank and I'm putting it into the brake chambers and brake hoses to see if there's any leaks inside either my emergency brake system. Okay? The reason why we put it into first gear is because we are releasing our parking brakes. That means the vehicle is not moving because it is in first gear. After the air pressure has stabilized around 100 psi, I'm going to wait 1 minute, and I cannot lose more than 3 psi in a combination vehicle. Okay? Now for the test, you are going to have to wait a full minute. So you are going to have to take a stopwatch out or your cell phone and put on your timer to wait that full minute. For this purposes of training, we're not going to wait the full minute. We're just going to say, okay, my minute has passed. I did not lose more than 3 psi of air pressure in the 1 minute with my brakes released, which means that everything is good to go. I do not have a leak inside my emergency brake system. Now I'm going to do what we call an applied brake test. So I'm going to put my foot on the foot brake. I'm going to hold now for 1 minute, and with my foot on the foot brake holding down for 1 minute, I cannot lose more than 4 psi. So now I'm going to check my air gauge, and I cannot lose more than 4 psi in that 1 minute. Again, for the test, you are going to have to wait the full minute, and you are going to have to tell the examiner when you are starting the clock. So it's a good idea to take out your cell phone or a stopwatch and actually start the clock so the examiner can see it. So the minute has passed now, and we have not lost more than 4 psi in that 1 minute, which means that our service brakes are free from any leaks. Now we're going to come off of the brake, and we're going to check to make sure that the warning light buzzer works. So we're going to keep pumping on the brakes until we get to 60 psi. At 60 psi, the low air warning light and buzzer should come on. And you're going to be hearing it pretty soon. So, we're just going to pump the brakes. I am losing air pressure. And as you can see and hear, both my air tanks have passed 60 psi. My light is on. I'm going to point to my light on the dashboard just like so. And you can hear the buzzer warning me that the low air warning is on. Alright? So that system is working. Now I'm going to continue to pump my brakes between 20 and 40 psi, and both my parking brakes shall pop out automatically. So for this part of the test, you want to make sure that you do not touch the brakes at all. Alright? So I'm going to keep pumping. And as you can see, both parking brakes did pop out. At this point, I'm going to put my transmission back into neutral because we're going to have to perform another safe start. So my transmission is now neutral. I'm going to double check to make sure both parking brakes are pulled out. That concludes part 1 of the cab check engine start training. Now if you need to review this video, please pause it and rewind. Please ask your instructor for further instructions on what you should do next. Thank you. Have a great day.